Okay, Emily, what is your second movie that
I'm gonna go with it's a film that not a lot of people heard of, but if you know the horror genre very well, you probably have heard of this movie. It was made in 2006 and it's called.
Hi, my name's Steven,
And my name's Emily.
and this is Video Time Podcast.
And today we're gonna be talking about our top 3 favorite horror movies.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Actually, let's let you go first.
Okay, so today we're talking about our 3 favorite horror movies. It doesn't mean it's the scariest movie, but it's movies that we like that are in the horror genre. So I'll go with one of my first ones. My first one is pretty much a lot of people like this one, The Conjuring. So it's the first Conjuring. And I like that movie because, like Marvel, it
Okay.
opens up a universe. So there's like a whole universe for horror movies. Like there is like Jason and everything. There's like Nightmare on Elm Street, and then there's part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
But The Conjuring opens up different movies like
Yeah.
Annabelle, The
Different,
Nun,
like spirits.
yeah,
and
and it's
stuff.
more of a like a, what do you call it?
Supernatural.
Supernatural, paranormal horror movie. I know you don't really like those ones. You like more slashers, huh?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Conjuring?
Yes, I have. I don't remember much details, but I remember watching it on Netflix for the first time.
Let me guess. You saw it with your mom and you didn't finish it.
No, I actually finished it. But
How do you not remember The Conjuring?
I mean, I remember where they're doing the exorcist,
The Exorcism?
like on a certain girl. They're doing it on a certain girl, and then there was a creepy scene where she kind of flew up and she was stuck on the chair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
that's The
terrifying.
Conjuring.
I remember
Yeah,
that
so
part.
it's Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're actually real people, and these are like the real stories that happened that they went on. And it's at a house. So this is the first Conjuring. It's at a house, and pretty much they're investigating to see if it's actually good enough for exorcism, because sometimes they go and it's the wind or it's just the house being creaky. But in the movie, they go and they see if it's real enough for them to call a priest so they can do an exorcism. And when they get there,
A
they
bunch
like
of crazy
crazy
stuff
things
happens.
happen.
Yeah.
But the main reason why I like it, it's because I like the time frame. Like I like that vibe of like that era.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool. And I love Ed and Lorraine. They're like them two
Yeah.
together, like you love them together because like you
They're
like
supportive. Yeah.
yeah, you like character development, right? So those characters are really cool together, even though they're real people, but they make them look like
Like
they're really lovers. They have each other's back. They
So
both
it's a
have different
realistic-
talents.
yeah. They're
Lorraine,
supportive
she
of each
she
other.
she's like a medium where she can not see the dead, or she can see the dead and like kind of talk to the dead. And then Ed is more like a investigator and stuff like that. But it's a really good movie. We should watch it, rewatch it.
All right.
Okay, what is your one of your picks?
I've mentioned this before, but it's got to be the 1978 Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
1 or part 2?
Part 2. I think it's that same exact date. I'm not sure. I'll have to
Why do you
check.
like that one instead of part 1?
Okay, so there's
the
a lot
original?
of reasons. Well, one reason is because in the first movie, there's only a little bit of dark humor shown.
So you like dark humor?
Yeah, it was mostly funny. So in the first movie, there was a couple of scenes where they shared the cannibalistic family shared like dark jokes together, and I thought that was pretty funny, you know. So, but in the second movie, however, there's a whole bunch of scenes where you could catch them saying funny stuff, funny things, joking around, and I thought that. Personally, I thought it was hilarious.
So I actually, since you told me about that movie, I actually went to go rewatch it again, and it came up under comedy and horror,
Yeah.
and it is pretty funny. What I can say I do like about that movie is it has a lot of practical, like there's like the good old movies have a lot of practical effects, and it's really cool.
Like in the first scene where
The chainsaw.
the chainsaw is
With
going
his-
through
his
the
head.
Actually, I do know how that's made. It's made from a balloon, and the prosthetic.
Get a little
when-
closer to the
okay.
mic. There you go.
When the balloon blows up, the top of his head, the victim, pushes up. So it's like it's a weird way. It's just a unique way of doing that, showing his half of his head getting chopped up, while his friend besides him is watching in total dismay, just realizing that his friend died in front of him because of a crazy person, Leatherface. Sorry. So I thought that was cool. Another reason why I really like this movie is because of the design, right?
Yeah, set design.
Set design. For half of the movie, Stretch, the protagonist, or what I like to say is the final girl. She goes into this amusement park.
Oh yeah, I saw the amusement park.
And underneath it is super cool. After the events, the murders in the first film, the cannibalistic family, the Sawyer family, moved away so they could hide away from their crimes, and so they decided to hang around a abandoned amusement park. And so in the second film, half of the film is shown in the amusement park, and it's just Stretch, the protagonist, running away. And there's scenes where there's actually one scene that I really like, that I really enjoy, is where she's running down a tunnel, and you get to see the lights, and you get to see bones, and it's just a way of showing that the family's been here for so long, collecting random trinkets and random stuff, and it's.
Did you say trinkets?
Trinkets.
What's a trinket?
Like random stuff.
Oh, I don't even know what that word means. So there's a crazy part that actually we were watching it together.
Yeah.
Where the girl, what's her name? Do you know her name?
Stretch.
The
Or
girl's the girl.
actor? Yeah.
Not the girl. What's her character's name?
Stretch.
Stretch?
Yeah, well,
She's a
referred
DJ
to
host,
Stretch.
the DJ
Yeah,
host,
the
right?
DJ host.
So there's a part where she sees her other DJ co-host,
Oh,
and like
I think
he's
it's
like
CJ?
Leatherface got him already.
Yeah.
And he cut him up, skinned off his face,
Oh
and it
my
looked like he was
gosh.
dead, and he wasn't dead. But then she was in there in the room, and
Mm-hmm.
then Leatherface saw her, and then she was like, "No, don't."
Yeah, she was like, "Don't
Don't
touch
hurt
me,
me."
please."
But then Leatherface I think he likes her.
Yeah, she has like
But he's crazy, so
Yeah.
he takes the face and he puts it on her.
the face of her friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was DJ CJ, something like that. It had a J at the end, and placed it on her face, and he continues to dance.
Oh yeah, he
with
dances
Stretch.
with her,
I don't know if it's just a way of
and he
like,
puts the cowboy hat on her.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a way of him showing like, hey, you're welcome to my family. You
Uh-huh.
can join my Leatherface family that I'm gonna start.
Yeah,
It
but
was
then the second
creepy.
part is he's alive still.
Yeah.
So
and
then he sees her with his face on.
Yeah, but he ends up helping her at the end.
Oh yeah, getting
And
out.
and then she takes off the face, right? And then she puts it back on I forgot his name, the other DJ host.
Mm-hmm.
And he dies peacefully, I guess, with his face back on. So
What else do you like about the movie?
I do like the acting of the acting. So I think that it was the Stretch. I
Yeah.
forgot the actor's name. I think it was. I'm gonna need to check. Can I
Yeah, you can check.
real quick? Because I do want to mention her. She's. Oh yeah. Okay. Carolyn Williams, Stretch. So she did amazing in that movie. I personally think, because at the end you could. I already said it, but like she was the final girl, right? That's how I like to refer it. And at the end, she's mimicking one of Bubba's iconic
Get a
dances.
little closer to the mic, babe. There you go.
Okay. Iconic dances, and she's just spinning around, and that's how the movie ends. And it's just her surviving while everyone else underneath the amusement park or at the amusement park. I forgot. I think they exploded at some point because I'm not sure.
They just exploded.
I just
Something
had a brain
exploded.
fart. Yeah, something exploded, and then they.
What happened to the sheriff? I don't even remember.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, let
The
me get
sheriff is the one of the
his
kids'
name's Lefty.
uncle from
Oh,
the
yeah.
first Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the kids' uncles.
So, Carolyn Williams, I think, sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, Stretch. So she played in other movies such as Halloween 2, Leprechaun 3, which was another comedy horror movie that was really funny. I haven't watched it, but I heard it was like hilarious, and there was like a bunch of stereotypes and stuff. It was more of a comedy.
What you need to see is Ash versus Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
That's what you need to see.
You were
That's a funny
telling
one.
me about it because it was funny.
Yeah.
Just
It's a
like
good
it was the
movie.
same
It's
situation
like
how the first movie had a little bit of dark humor.
Yeah,
And then the
and-
second movie showed more of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you need to see. I'm gonna probably show you that pretty soon.
So, like he was saying, one of the sheriffs, okay, so in the first film, there was the killings, right? And there was there were siblings, right? And they ended up dying in the first film. Sorry, spoiler, but it was a movie made a long time ago, so
Yeah, everyone already knows what happens.
everyone knows.
Pretty much, kind of.
So
They can rewatch
in the second film, there's there's a new character. I think his name's Lefty, and he's not a sheriff, but he wants to learn. He wants to investigate more of this Texas Chainsaw Massacre events because he was actually the uncle of one of the victims from the first
Movie.
movie. And so throughout the 15 years, because the movie
Takes 15 years.
yeah, 15 years after, there's been like I said, the family moved, but they still been killing, and it's just been a conspiracy. And like, this is in the universe, it's been a conspiracy about these Texas Chainsaw Massacres in Texas. You could see in the beginning of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 where it has the opening and it has the text, and it explains the current situation going on in Texas. So,
what's the current situation going on
like
in Texas?
the killings.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
but they never found Bubba in them. So it's only those two. The funny thing is, I really like this movie because it's only those two movies, the first one and the second one, that actually line up together. The third film, I think it's called Leatherface Part 3 or something like that. That one has a completely other timeline. It has new characters, and from there it gets kind of sloppy.
Oh, it does.
Right? Yeah. So it's just those two films, and they really connect, like showing the incidents of the first film, the uncle being one of the new characters being the uncle of one of the first victims shown in the first movie, and there's a new brother, because in the first movie there's it's called, I think his name is he's referred as the hitchhiker. He ended up dying in the first film. But in the first film, it was also taken, like, during the time was Vietnam, right?
Vietnam.
I said that totally wrong.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Vietnam. So, so that happened, and so he actually had a twin brother, and there are so many leads and connections for those first two films that actually make sense. Because, like I said, the rest of the movies start to get sloppy from there, and they don't really make sense. So that's why I really like the second one. It's a little, I'm going to say it's a little bit better than the first one, but I just like the idea that it's like kind of like crystal clear. Like you get to know what's happening.
Yeah. Some movies are just confusing.
Yeah. Like I said, the timelines, if you have it too long, it's going to get sloppy and unorganized.
So we'll go into my second movie.
Okay.
So and they're not in order. And the second movie I picked is Paranormal Activity. The first one, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? Why? But there's a story behind it. There's a backstory behind it.
He has a reason.
There's a big reason.
I agree.
A lot of people don't like it. They get bored of it. Or Emily watched it and she was falling asleep.
I know. I had to like take breaks from the movie because I was so bored. I mean, there's
a universe in that too. There's like a whole Paranormal Activity universe.
He enjoys like big timelines.
I don't like big timelines.
Not big timelines, but like
let
movies.
me tell you this reason why I like this movie. It's because this movie actually really, really, really scared me. So this was the time when
MySpace.
Yeah, when MySpace was a thing. So before you logged on, there was like always advertisements on MySpace, and I went to go log on to MySpace. This was like before you were even thought of.
Yeah.
So I went to go log on to MySpace, and did I hear a car?
Yeah, I heard the,
Oh, okay.
I heard the car.
So I went to go log on to MySpace, and it was like, hey, you want to come see a movie? And I was like, cool, a movie. Let me sign up. So I signed up. I got like an email, probably like a week later, saying like, hey, you can come see this movie. You can get food, bring whatever food you want, and you can see the movie to like just rate it and stuff. So we go in, me and my friend, we go in the movie, and we sit down. Like there's no, you know how in the movie theaters there's usually not credits, trailers.
Yeah, trailers.
Excuse me. There's no trailers. We sit down, the lights turn off, and then the movie starts. Why you keep looking behind me? You're scaring
I'm
me.
not looking behind you. Look, he's already getting scared.
No, okay, but listen. So the lights turn off and the movie just starts.
All right.
There's
That's
no
kinda
trailers,
Random.
nothing.
There's no trailers.
No,
'Cause
nothing. And
you
there's,
must have been used to like seeing the trailers
Yes.
because you enjoy those
Yeah.
trailers.
So we sit down and the movie just starts.
Okay.
Throughout the whole movie, the movie goes. Okay.
All right.
Then the movie just ends. It just says thank you. It says thank you to the San Diego Police Department,
Okay.
and there's no credits, and the lights turn on, and that's the end of the movie. That's it.
So it's promoted. It's made to make it more realistic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too. So there's nothing about that movie. There was there was nothing in the news. I mean, there was a news article
Yeah.
because I remember driving home. Like after the movie ended, everyone got up and quiet because everyone in the theater thought it was real. Because it was so because when you thought it was scary, like it was like the Blair Witch. People thought the Blair Witch was real because they advertised it as it was real, like real found footage. And this looked like a documentary. Like, oh shoot, I just saw someone die from like a demon. So I remember driving home, me and my friend, we didn't talk the whole way home. And we went
guys
all the
were,
way
like,
from
scared.
like Ontario. So it was from like Ontario all the way to where I live. And that's like a 45-minute drive. So
So
we drove
quiet.
and it was just quiet because we were both thinking like, oh my gosh,
That was terrifying.
that was horrible. So I dropped my friend off. I went home. I was curious. This was before Google.
All right.
I mean, Google was around, but no one used Google because it sucked at the time. But so I went to yahoo.com and then I tried to like
Yahoo.
type it in because that's where everyone would go
Yeah.
to look up for stuff. So I went to Yahoo, put in paranormal activity, nothing came up. I remember the names Mika, and I put up Mika, but then an article came up saying, "Oh, Mika died and his wife is on the loose." So
Oh,
that
no.
that was even scarier. So that's why that movie scared the crap out of me because legitly I thought it was real until like probably a good 2 months later. I went on MySpace and it says, "Hey, come see this new movie in selected theaters," and it's Paranormal Activity. So that's when I knew it was a movie because I saw it said movie, and it didn't say like documentary or anything. It was
You must
I-
have been still terrified.
I was scared because
Yeah.
I thought it was real, and I don't.
You just
I-
witnessed
and I
someone
really-
get killed.
Yeah, I really don't get scared of things, and that movie scared me. But if you guys don't know what the movie's about, it's about a guy named Mika and his wife. His wife's been getting haunted since she was little, and pretty
Yeah.
much he buys a camera, and there's no camera angles. It's just Mika holding the camera, setting a tripod up, watching them at night, and she does crazy things. And pretty much we just see that she gets possessed by a demon.
Yeah, like
That's-
every couple of days things would happen, and like the film was organized to where it was like night 1, night 20, night 13, and then every time like it usually happened at night when things started to creepily.
It gets
get weird.
intense and intense more of the night. And the last night was pretty crazy. Like when I seen that, I was scared, super scared.
Okay, so this is my take on the movie.
Okay,
I watched it a few days ago. I heard of it, but I never.
because I told her to
Actu-
watch
yeah.
it.
For this podcast, of course. And I never been like I've never been really scared of like paranormal activity or like supernatural horror films because like I don't know. So when I watched Paranormal Activity for the first time, I was sitting down and I had my phone, my earphones on. and I was watching the film, and I was like, this is getting real slow, you know, because it takes like, I counted in my, like, I made sure like I went through like the time, I checked every time just to see like how the events happen, and like when this happened, if it was like 30 minutes in or 50 minutes in. And so I've tracked that when things start getting real intense, it was like around 48 to 50-ish minutes. That's when like the Ouija board gets on fire, or yeah, basically that's when all the serious stuff starts to happen, and then she gets possessed, and then yeah. However, the other half is just, I think it's personally slow. He enjoys it because it terrified him, and the way that it was promoted didn't like it. They thought they thought it was real. So
Yeah, that's what.
but now that I think it's a different churn on me because I know it's fake.
Yeah.
And I watched it on a small phone with earbuds. But if I watched it with no trailers in a movie theaters, I would probably be scared as well.
Yeah, if you didn't have the internet.
Yeah,
too.
I didn't have the internet.
I mean, there was the internet, but it wasn't like
no one used it. Like he even said he
like-
searched up on
Yahoo.
Yahoo, and there was nothing. And if I was in this situation, I would be pretty terrified. I just saw someone get murdered.
Yeah, it
like
was
real
scary.
footage.
It was scary. Okay, Emily, what is your second movie that?
I'm gonna go with it's a film that not a lot of people heard of, but if you know the horror genre very well, you probably have heard of this movie. It was made in 2006, and it's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I've enjoyed this film for many.
I haven't watched it.
He hasn't watched it, so I'm gonna give.
I just know it from her.
Yeah.
She
'Cause,
tells
like,
me about it, and she talks about it all
yeah.
the time.
So, I like this movie for many reasons. And one of the reasons is that every horror slasher that you probably heard of, like the
Is in it?
like when they
Are they
refer to
in
it,
it, or they refer them to it?
they referred him to it. It's called I think it's Leslie, the one. I'll
I
explain.
thought
to
Leslie
it.
was a girl,
Yeah.
but it's a boy. in the
It's a
movie.
boy. Okay, it's a boy. Leslie, he refers it as the big league or something like
The
that.
big leagues?
The big leagues or something like that. Or the big.
What's the plot of the movie?
Okay,
So
let me
someone-
get into the plot.
Act like you're a trailer. Try to sell me onto the movie.
Sell you on.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at convincing people. So.
Okay, so tell me what the movie is about.
Okay, so
without spoiling anything.
Without spoiling anything, so
Yeah.
like a trailer.
Yeah.
But you spoil things in the trailer
yeah.
regardless.
Okay, tell me. So let's see.
So, Behind the Mask is The Rise of Leslie Vernon is a movie about a bunch of college students. I don't know if they're in college, but it's a documentary team. What's that word? Where they're
Documenting?
journaling. Yeah, they're journaling this one dude, and his name is Leslie Vernon. And throughout the whole movie, you don't get the sense of what they're actually talking about until like probably like 20 minutes in, and then that's when you realize hey, he's a slasher. And I'll explain into that. That's like confusing. So basically,
So they're making a documentary on a serial killer,
yes, basically.
and they know he's killing people.
Yes, but they made an agreement to Leslie that if they get the behind the scenes, because like you know how a lot of journalists and people that do shows and stuff, they want to know the inside of criminal like minds or serial killers or whatever, people who commit crimes. And she made an agreement with Leslie to do this documentary. And so they do the documentary. They talk about Leslie Vernon and what he does on his what he does for his job and how he does it. And so
his job is being a serial killer.
yeah, basically. So it's a comedy. It's not dark humor, but it's a comedy, and it has a lot of cameos from other horror movies, and I'm gonna get into that because I really like that reason. So like I was saying before, I gave you the quick run throughout the about the movie. So there's those big leagues that Leslie Vernon refers to.
He wants to be just like them.
He wants to be just like them. And the big leads being Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and yeah, I think that's about it. But there's also mentions of Pandora. What is it called? I can't say the correct word, but it's a box from Pinhead. Not Pinhead.
Oh, okay.
What was that movie called? Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
So there's a bunch
Pandora's
of
box?
Pandora's box or something like that. There's a bunch of cameos. Like one of the actors that play Freddy Krueger in a
he's in
bunch
it?
of movies. He's in it. He's in it as There's this funny like shot where Leslie's trying to do this certain thing. He's showing the cast crew like how he does like different scenes and stuff. And the movie, half of the movie is like a documentary. Some parts are like an actual movie referring to like what Leslie's thinking in his mind before he attacks his victims. So it's really funny, and just to see that it's basically watching the behind the scenes of classic horror movies, you know, like how the how the slashers think. And I find it funny, and there's many cameos and there's many jokes behind it. And it's not the best movie, but
Is
it's
it,
a
like,
movie that
super
I
cheesy
personally
that
yeah,
you like?
it's cheesy, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. The director, I forgot his name. I'll get into that in a second, Scott Glosserman, that's his name. He has a comic. A prequel, right? That's when something is
Like this.
before,
Yeah.
right? So he has a prequel comic of the movie, and you get to know like him, Leslie Vernon, and all that stuff. So
Before
I thought,
he was, like, older.
before he was a slasher, and I thought that was cool. He's also the director is also known for documentaries about like the horror movie slashers. I didn't really look into it, but it was about like the acting and stuff, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me on that, but I'm not sure. But he's known for directing Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I really enjoy that movie. If you have the spare time to watch that movie, it's worth watching.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it then.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
it's a
watch it.
pretty good movie. The way that I explain it is not very well, but you really just gotta see it. You really just gotta watch it to experience what I experienced and like the funny moments. It's funny.
Okay. So for my third movie, I'm gonna pick Hereditary. I like that movie a lot. The cinematography in that movie, super good, super good. The director actually also made Midsummer too.
Midsummer, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Oh, 2? I don't know.
No,
I thought you
Midsummer
meant 2.
2.
Yeah,
like
2.
he also made
Yeah,
Midsummer.
2.
And I like both those movies, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Hereditary, and it's crazy. It takes a big turn because
Yeah.
you see a character, and like you see the trailer and you think the main character is the main character, but it's not the main character. I don't want to give too much. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, it's a really good
You
movie.
gotta watch it.
It's more based about like a family movie, not a family movie,
But,
but
like, it's a
around
broken family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a broken family. It's around the family, and people are just blaming each other, and you just watch this family
Fall
tear
apart, yeah.
tear
It's-
itself apart.
it's
It's pretty
really
much
sad.
like I don't think you've seen The Witch, but The Witch is the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen
Is
The
where
Witch.
the family with
yeah,
the goat.
the family with the goat, the black
Yeah.
goat. Yeah.
And pretty much it's just the family tearing itself apart. And it's more not because of
They're pointing fingers.
yeah, pointing fingers. And it's a really good movie. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want people to watch it. And there's a lot of people that
I'm sure
don't
a lot
like
of people
it.
watch it.
That
watched
don't like
already.
it. That don't think it's horror, but I like it because I have a family and you do point fingers at people like it's
Yeah.
your fault. No, it's your fault. And then it's just crazy and scary. And then pretty much it's like they're praying to a demon. There's witchcraft in it.
Yeah.
And I like those.
It's
those
a really
things.
like he said, he likes supernatural horror films. This movie is really interesting, and
It's pretty.
yeah,
And
it's
I love
pretty
the cinematography.
sad,
in it.
and I love this
It's
movie.
pretty. I said it's pretty, and you're like, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad
oh.
movie.
Well, you were
And then there's
talking about
something,
the.
but there's one good part in it that I like, and it's the way they set up their scares, like just with this noise.
Oh yeah, that was unsettling, and
Yeah.
it got me off edge because I didn't really
Yeah,
like that
it
noise.
takes you off edge. So that's
Yeah.
what I like about that movie. Takes you off edge.
Like that one
and-
scene with it was a brother, right? And he was in school and he was sitting
Yeah,
sitting down.
it's in
and
the
he-
trailer too, and
yeah.
then he just smacks his head against the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was till his nose starts
Broke,
to bleed
yeah.
or broke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and just look at each other. Okay, so for your third movie, Emily.
You didn't even say like a bunch of stuff about Hereditary.
Hereditary? Well, like I said, I didn't
Okay.
say a lot because I want people to go watch it. And it's a really good movie. If you don't like it,
Okay.
let me know if you don't like it. But I love that movie.
Carrie. Okay, so my third movie. This is not
Matilda.
Matilda.
Matilda
Okay.
when she's older.
Matilda when she's older.
Carrie.
Teen problems. So, Carrie.
The original Carrie, right?
Yeah, the original Carrie. I don't remember a bunch of stuff, and I didn't have enough time to research about it. But I would like to talk about the movie and some of the scenes it has. I really like this movie because of Carrie herself. I forgot that
She's like a innocent.
Yeah,
Pretty
she's
sure
like-
they make her look like. I mean, she is an innocent girl. She's just a regular girl getting
Yeah.
bullied,
and then she gets
and
off
she's not the
edge. Yeah,
main.
she gets
I mean,
pushed,
she
she's
is the
off.
main character, but she's not like the main scary,
No, yeah.
horrible person. Her mom is.
Her mom is. Yeah,
On
that's
to Jesus.
yeah. So that I really like that element where like the
She
mom
looks like a witch, though.
Who?
The mom.
Oh yeah,
'Cause she has
looks- her
black coat.
She's all
like
like-
she's going on a what is it called? An adventure
yeah.
in Lord of the Rings.
So I really like that element where they bring like the mom super obsessed with Jesus because she know I don't know if the mom knows if Carrie has the
I don't think she
telephone.
knows.
Yeah,
Well-
but the mom was super obsessed with Jesus, and she forced religion upon Carrie, and that was just so many other problems that Carrie had to go through,
Yeah.
which just pushed
She
her
didn't even
off the
tell her
edge
about
at the end.
her about to have her period, and Carrie didn't even know about
Yeah.
that, and she was all scared when she got her
Yeah,
period.
that was yeah.
Yeah, and then the mom's like, "What?" and then drags her and throws her in the closet.
That was not nice. And I like the movie because like it really shows that she's just like the underdog, right? And she's just getting like throughout the movie you see her like every
Like you root for her, huh?
yeah,
you
you
want her
root
to
for
be
her.
bad.
You want her to like recover from the damages that she's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end you just realize that she's gonna die. Spoiler warning, but it was pretty sad because like I liked the movie and I was like, yeah, come on, she's
Yeah.
gonna get
Kill
and
everybody.
boom, and then boom.
But there were some people that were actually being
Yeah.
nice to her, that wanted to
Wanted
make
the
up
best, yeah.
and wanted the best for her. The PE teacher dies,
yeah,
and she
No.
really wanted the best for her. Even though she smacked that PE teacher, smacks everybody.
Yeah. that was
She smacked
was-
her. She smacked one of the mean girls.
yeah. It's like I really like
It's
this
a
movie
good
because like
movie,
a girl problem's like understandable, you know.
Uh-huh.
Like you
I
got your
don't know.
bully. Well, no, duh.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
calling me a girl?
okay. Maybe. We can't. Why?
Okay,
Why?
go.
Okay. So, yeah, I really enjoy that movie. And at the end, I like that shot where she's holding, was it flowers or she was holding something? And that's when the blood, was
Yeah.
it pink blood?
It was
right?
flowers.
Yeah, it was flowers. And
because
then
she
there's
just won
yeah, she
prom
just won
queen.
prom. And they did it to, I find it so rude that they did it to plan, like they planned her thinking like she was all excited and happy and then
I know,
boom,
bam.
they exploded
Pig's
her,
blood
yeah.
all over her.
Pig's blood and they exploded her whole big
By
moment.
John Travolta. John Travolta. I can't say his name. But the guy from Greece.
the guy from Greece.
Because he's in that movie.
Yeah, and I thought it was super sad.
Mm-hmm.
I like that movie, and then that's the only Carrie movie I like. Because
that
the
new
other
one is,
movies, no, like they're not as good.
Yeah.
Carrie, the original ones always, like that's the win for me. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here we go again.
here we are naughty.
So if you guys have time, watch those 6 movies, and if you
Mm-hmm.
guys like them, let us know. It is Hereditary was mine, Conjuring, and Paranormal Activity, and then Emily's were
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and Carrie, the original one.
Yeah,
So
the original one.
if you have the time to,
Yeah,
I
watch
suggest
them.
for you to watch the movies. Don't come after us if you don't like the movies,
Yeah,
because
don't
this
come
is just
after
our
us.
opinions.
This is our personal
Yeah,
movies
this
that
is
we
just
like.
our experience and what
Yeah.
we liked about the movies. But you really see the difference between me and my dad.
Yeah, she likes old slasher movies.
I
I
like
like-
old slasher movies. He likes supernatural horror films.
Yeah.
And it's just a
Yeah,
huge
two
difference.
people who like horror movies, but two different types of horror
Yeah.
movies. All right, so that ends our podcast for today. So if you like it, go ahead and follow us on Spotify, YouTube, like, comment, and share. And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.